About a month or two ago, I set myself a goal to make sure that I could get myself a sparkable Valentia Impala from the rerun banner, so I could finally complete my Echoes catalog. Well, that's completely thrown out the window. Hey folks, and welcome back to another video. Hope you're having a fantastic day or night so far. We've got ourselves a spring banner on our hands, and from the silhouette, I immediately figured out who the silhouettes were immediately, and I realized that my orb bank was going to go down to 0, basically, for this banner, because I could tell clear as day that it was going to be some Echoes units. So, yeah, fun. But I want to find out what this whole banner is actually about, so I really know if we're going to get some actual good units, or if we're going to get something, you know, a little bit more... I don't know. I'm happy. I just want to see what's going on here. Let's go. Oh boy, this is going to be interesting, to say the least. I mean, I already know who 2 of the units are, and it's going to be obviously a pull, but it's like, the whole banner? Let's see. Okay, yeah, that was obvious. Yeah, I knew this. I literally knew this. Like, come on. I knew it.
Spring is my favorite season.
A mage cav. Okay. She's a mage cav, though. Okay. Why does she only have 3 skills? An A? That's like... Oh my god. It's so big they had to put it on 2 slides. Okay, that's funny. I have to admit that one. Okay. Yeah, Maria, I kind of figured this would happen eventually. Everyone knew it from last year. It's like Minerva's there.
Spring festival outfit
has to be
just
now.
Adorable. I love it.
So you're a skip, but that's not the point. And you're basically like Minerva. Flow, flight. Interesting. And you have a perf too. Interesting. And is that Henry? Oh my god.
So
well,
things can
not surprised.
be fun even without anyone dying? Huh.
Yeah, possibly. Carlos is bow cav, and you're the focus. I don't have to read that that inheritable later. It's fine. So is this gonna be an Echoes unit at all? Sonya is the harmonic. Oh my god, I know somebody's gonna be so happy for that one.
Don't we look fine?
Oh my god.
Speak for yourself.
With Tharja too.
Lose and I'll hex you.
Makes sense. Yeah. Magic rabbits. What is that? Hold. They're actually tier 4ing range skills. Oh my god. Am I surprised? No, not at all. Well, okay, makes sense why Henry's on this banner then. So that's fine. Oh, wow. I saw something about cooldown -2.
Let our beauty
I mean, sure, why not?
What?
Ooh, and stats.
We have a plan, right?
Damn, that attack stat.
Playtime's over.
I like how Tharja's just being blunt, I guess.
Ravishing rabbits.
She does not seem to be having the most fun, but it's fine. And yeah, Luthier, I figured he was the free unit, and I knew he was going to have a lance at least, so... Yeah, that's the thing. There you are. Well... Yeah, no, my orbs are gone completely. I mean, not as badly. There's only 2 units I need to pull for here, so that's fine. And then, yeah, alright. Why in the world is Delthea, of all characters, being the first to show 2 whole slides? Okay, let's see. Okay, so the bright shell egg. This is going to be quite the essay, so brace yourself. Slaying at start of turn inflicts speed and res -6 on nearest foes within 5 spaces of unit through their next actions. Okay, well that's crazy. If bonus is active on unit or penalty is active on foe, gets an additional speed and res -6 on foe, but this is during combat. And also the following effects will occur based on the value of total bonuses on unit plus value of total penalties on foe. If it's 6 or higher, player phase null follow-up, I think, or just like unit null follow-up. Yes. If 18 or above, foe cannot counterattack. Okay. Wait, what? Okay. Sure. And it gives you an example. If unit has +6 bonus to attack and speed, and the foe has a -6 penalty to attack and speed, calculated total will be 24. So that's how it would proc. I mean, yeah, I don't think I really need to say much more besides that. I mean, if you're getting the bonuses and the debuffs, which, to be fair, you should be getting those debuffs because they're giving them from 5 spaces away. Menaces are only 4. This is even more free. Like, what? It's not quite global wide, but 5 whole spaces? I mean, that's worth noting. Like, that's... I couldn't even say... That's at least guaranteed half of the map, I believe. Unless you're in, like, one corner to the other, which, I mean, it might be a little weird. Then you're covering, like, maybe, like, a third of it. But that is a huge range, especially for what Delthea is trying to do with just being an offensive mage and mage cav. But then you get to the point where if you have enough buffs on yourself, which, to be fair, if you have +6 and, like, 3 stats on yourself, they're just not going to be able to counterattack at all, and you can just get 2 hits in. And the only way they can get away with that is no counter disrupt, and who's running that right now? Not too many people, frankly speaking, unless you're like Fjorm and you have it built in, so it's whatever. Otherwise, Glimmer makes sense. Attach speed, catch 4 makes sense for what she's trying to do. Page 2, you've got speed and res far trace. Well, I definitely don't have to give the fodder off to Delthea now because she already comes with it because, well, I got a free pick of the Ninja Korim for my seasonal anniversary special heroes thing, which is even better IV. So I don't have any need for the free one that we're getting in like a week or 2. So I still need to figure out who I'm giving this skill to, but that's besides the point. And then rouse attack speed 4, which makes sense because you have null panic. So if you're just going to give yourself all of the buffs you can, well, they can't do anything about it. They can't panic you. They can't do a damn thing. So you know what? I like this. There's a part of me, I'm not going to lie, I still need to look at like Sonya and that sort of thing, but it's like, this is so good that I feel like it is worth doing the +10, honestly. But that's just me. I don't know. I need to think about it, but we'll see. This is just a pretty solid sort of ability. I mean, simply just being able to disrupt your foe from being able to counterattack, period. While also just being, you know, good. And they can't really do anything to really stop you. I mean, need I say more? Alright, Maria, let's see. I was curious about that that new flight skill, but we'll get to that eventually. Pastel Poleaxe. Grants defense +3, neutralize effective against flying bonuses. Works out, just like your sister. Start of combat, if your unit is healthy, grants +5 to all stats during combat. Deals damage equal to 20% of unit's defense. And reduces damage from foes' attacks by 20% of unit's defense. Oh, and restores 7 HP to units and allies within 2 spaces after combat. I mean, that's honestly pretty damn solid. It's kind of funny, though, because this is arguably going to be maybe the best version of Minerva there is. And it's on her little sister. Okay, I mean, well, have fun, I guess. But overall, I'm trying to make sure. So it's just being healthy gives you the +5 to all stats during combat. And then you also get additional damage based on 1/5 of Maria's defense. And then you also get a mini sort of a defense dodge, but it's like half of that. Just straight up. That honestly doesn't sound too bad, I'm not gonna lie. And depending on the stats, because I mean, you've also got attack defense push 4 here. That should be buffing it up pretty nicely. I mean, what is the combat against? It's a 5-star lance flyer, and they're not doing any damage, but they're getting partially buffs. So it's like, I don't know, but I'm curious about the defense stat here because, I mean, like, how do you go from that to probably having like at the very least 30 to 35 defense? It's like, this is like some like armor effects sort of things. I'm not gonna lie, but it's just funny. But that's not bad, honestly, I feel. So why not? But then also there's flights. If you initiates combat, neutralize effects that prevent units fall up attacks during combat. Makes sense. And also if unit speed is greater than foe speed by 10 points, deals damage during combat equal to 70% of the difference between defense stats and reduce damage from foes' attacks by 70% of that difference. I'm not gonna lie, I've had a hard time trying to understand the flight skills, at least the Wyvern flight and the Pegasus flights, just because I'm just dumb, I guess. or whatever, but I mean, okay, wait, oh. It also is like a max of like 7 damage reduction, but I mean, being able to have, I guess in a way you could consider it like a flow sort of skill in a way, since you're getting the player phase or the unit null follow-up sort of thing. But these are also exclusive to flyers because of the weird other bonuses they give. So then you're also going to be dealing additional bonus damage based on your defense stats, as well as even more, like just a tiny bit more damage reduction, which I mean, it can still go a while away, to be fair. So basically, I'm not too sure what raise stack is going to be, but it's like you're going to have, I think you're going to have like a decent-ish attack stat, unless you're like really high up there, just somehow. You're going to have a buttload of defense and then like enough speed. Like you're probably going to have like around like 39 above. Okay, maybe I'll give it like 38 and above, because you need a lot of speed to be able to release a fair amount of speed to get away with this. Unless I'm actually reading this wrong. No, wait. I don't remember, honestly. It's weird thinking about these skills. There's somebody who's going to be a lot more qualified and more experienced with these sort of skills to understand how it is. Maybe I'm just dumb. So I'll hear an explanation eventually, and I will understand it. But right now, my brain is kind of just air right now. So not air, just foggy. But you get what I mean. Either way, though, Maria is the best version of any Minerva that's going to be released, period. Unless Legendary Minerva or Ascended Minerva comes around. And I mean, sure, why not? Please. I know some people like that. But right now, the best version of Minerva is, ironically, a Maria. But I'm not really surprised by that either. Okay, Henry, you've got yourself a seasonal vocab on your hands. Colorless, in fact. But what's going to stand you out exactly? And it's going to have to be this perf and your stats, arguably. Not perf, inheritable. Alright, Carrot Tip Bow. A start of combat if foe's HP is 75% or higher, or penalty is active on foe. Grants attack and defense plus 5 to unit during combat. And unit's first attack during combat deals damage equal to total attack and defense penalties on foe. So, okay. Overall, at its worst, if your foe is just like at like basically full HP, you're going to be doing at least like attack and defense plus 5 at least onto yourself. You're going to do like an additional 5 damage to tank a little bit more. But what matters more here is that your first attack, given you actually have penalties active on that foe, which should be arguably possible, you're going to deal even more damage based on those penalties. So you're going to deal up to an additional 14 damage based on like just plainly giving them -7 attack and defense, which is possible, frankly speaking. Albeit not the easiest to get to. It's more like going to be about somewhere between 8 to 14, or no, 8 to 12, I mean. So, I mean, that does help, I feel. I guess this would be arguably a lot better if this was, say, like if you were getting like a little bit more like speed or whatever, but I don't think it really matters. And especially the nice thing about this is that it's going to be first hit as well. So that first hit's going to be even more important to make sure that you're not going to get killed on retaliation, which I mean, to be fair, if you're going up against like a physical unit, for example, you're going to take a little bit less damage based on the additional 5 defense. But overall, I mean, you're just dealing however much damage you can based on that opponent having penalties, which is possible. I don't know if it's the most consistent sort of thing, unless you're running a squad that just makes sure that you're getting debuffs on your enemy team, period. Which, I mean, I guess you could be doing that if you're running like Kunthra or Harid or whoever else. And I guess the rest of his kit does kind of help with that. I mean, you've got Rally Defense Res Plus on a 4-star focus unit. That's interesting. Okay. Then you've got Brace and Attack Defense 3, whatever. Ares has already had that. But then you have Attack Defense Ruse 3. I can't remember if this is the first more easily accessible ruse that we've had, because I don't think it's been on a Grail unit. Not that I recall. So having a ruse like this and the 4-star focus pool, because I don't even think it's been there either. We've had like a snag before, but not a ruse. So, I mean, sure, why not? It's not a terrible ruse. I mean, it's attack and defense, so it arguably could be better, but it's not bad, honestly. I forget who it's been on, though, but that's not the point. If you're getting a rally off or somebody's rallying you, for example, you're going to be able to just freely go in and get that target that's hit with that ruse with that additional... Well, I mean, it's going to be guaranteed 10 damage because it's the -5 debuff. And luckily, if they do end up retaliating, they're not going to be charging up their special on anybody's attack since they've got the guard effect too. The guard debuff, rather. So, I think this bow isn't the worst, but I don't think it's the best because it relies on having to make sure that they have penalties on them to deal your additional damage. But it's not bad. It's just... It's weird for me to place this in my mind and how good this is because of its reliance on these penalties. Not like it's hard to inflict penalties, but making sure you get it consistent enough to where it's actually having an impact every single combat that you're doing as this unit, if you get what I mean. So, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. And I mean, for Henry overall, I mean, there are people who do like Henry. I mean, people have probably wanted another alt from him for a while since the last one was, I mean, Halloween year 1. So, I mean, sure, why not? I don't think he's going to be fast at all. He's going to be like more like attack and defense. Maybe some res too, I'm not too sure. I'm curious about his stats actually because depending on his stat line, it could make for an interesting case for what this Henry could do as a unit potentially. Because in a way, it would kind of remind me of Python in a way in terms of the stat line because he surprisingly has a buttload of defense that you can do with some really weird defense-oriented builds. I haven't tried any out yet myself, but I would imagine that this Henry can do basically that, and then like by tenfold, more or less. So have fun for that one if you want to go ahead and plus 10 him. And I mean, it's a bow-cav, so it's not the most unique thing, but it's something, I would say. And now we get to, I already said before, I know somebody who was under some copium for the past 24 hours that, oh my god, can a Sonya ult finally happen? And I mean, it's finally happened, and you've got Tharja as a backpack. Oh my. And then it's a Green Mage flyer, so I mean, that makes sense. So, what is truly up? Alright, Magic Rabbits. Slang. At start of turn 1, grant special cooldown count -2. Unit can move to a space within 2 spaces of any ally within 2 spaces. Okay. If unit initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack +4, speed +6, and bonus to unit's attack equal to unit's max special cooldown count value ×3 during combat. Okay, so I'm trying to think. I believe that slang doesn't really count for that sort of stuff, as far as I remember, like when it comes to counting stuff like Surge Sparrow and that sort of thing. So for example, I'm just gonna spitball here. If you have like Aether on, for example, a 5 count special, is that gonna be an additional 15 damage? I would think. And then like for example, Luna here, I believe that's gonna be 9. So I mean, yeah, sure, why not? I mean, it's not the, I guess, the craziest thing. At the same time, no, because I mean, you're going to be insta-procking the Luna at base, for example, and then you're just going to kind of go off and do, you know, hit them with an instant special and give some additional damage based on the perf. Not like too much damage, but you know, enough. And I would imagine that this is going to help out by having, I mean, well, would you really be AoE spamming here? I guess you could, yeah, since I mean you're getting special cooldown count -2. And there are ways to get it down a little bit further. I mean, for example, the Harmonize skill is giving an additional 2, so arguably you could get a turn 1 Aether. So that's something. If you really wanted to be a quote-unquote little shithead, which, hi, I'm right here. Now it's gonna be fun. Otherwise, you've got attack and speed unity to make sure that you're not going to get your attack and speed debuff because, let's be honest, they're going to need it, frankly speaking. And even if you do try to hurt them, they're just going to just add it to themselves and get even more powerful. So good job with that one. And it makes sense since they're always going to be within Unity range because they have the movement stuff in their weapon. So that's cool. You've got chill defense and res 2. That one's a little interesting. I think this might be my candidate to give the far trace to, just for the sake. I mean, it's not like you're really going to be using it as much because you're usually going to be using the warp spacing in the weapons, and you don't get a lot of usage to use that far trace. I'm saying this from my own experience since I went for a Halloween Noe Forma with far trace, so I know that's sort of like, and it's like, it's just there to have like the necessity. I mean, it's like, you know, a mage flyer lull sort of thing as well if you're not going to even use it, so it's at least something. Meanwhile, chill defense res 2 isn't bad, but it's like, do you really need it on this Tharja? Not really. You're not really doing that sort of thing, I feel. It's just, you know, there, and it's fine. Then meanwhile, you've got speed and res hold. So this is speed res rain 4, more or less. And they're basically upping it by making the speed and res -4 debuff during combat to foes is going to be within 3 spaces instead of 2. So yeah, that actually helps a lot more based on the fact that not every time you're going to be in an applicable space to where you can apply your Rhyme buffs, especially for an example, when you're going up against somebody who's like a range foe, you're not always going to want to be near, like, you don't want to be adjacent to your ally that's going to be taking the attack, for example. So what's going to end up happening is that you're just not going to be able to apply it because of just the spacing. Now having it within 3 spaces will help at least a little bit, I would imagine. And I mean, it's not like it's going to be that hugely detrimental. I mean, Rhymes are just, they're consistent in what they try to do. It's very minute in a way, based on it just being like -4 on like dual stats, but it's something. It can actually make or break combat in a sense, and making it so that it's a little bit more present in such a consistent manner. I mean, it's why not? It just kind of makes sense, you know? I'm not gonna lie though, I don't like the color in this skill just because it's like it's glowing yellow, like purely. Like you thought the yellow border was bad. Now the entire skill is more or less in this weird yellow hue. It's like, ugh, I don't know about that one. I really don't. But yeah, no, I mean, look at those stats, because I don't think they have, yeah, it's just slang. So then the calculation is going to be like 14 out of that. So that's 42, I believe, actually, yeah. 42, 41, 23, 20, and then 40. So I mean, it makes sense, I guess. Why not have some like high attack? And now you actually have some nice base speeds. That's cool. Why not? So then the whole thing here. Okay. Oh yeah, you're also giving attack +6. That's what I saw. And then resonant blades. 2 units and allies from the same titles as in for 1 turn. So yeah, really, it's just a glorified I don't even know what you would even call that. I guess you could call it like a glorified Osteos Pulse. But it doesn't matter who it's hitting because there's no tactics requirement. You just have to be from either Echoes or Awakening. And I mean, why not? Makes sense. So, I mean, that works out. It's just consistent, I feel. I mean, attack +6 makes sense for them as well, just because, you know, instant, you know, more damage. I really do wonder the potency of AoE skills. Since, I mean, I don't really know how it's going to apply itself. Oh, actually, never mind. It doesn't really matter. You're just getting that bonus to your attack in general. Okay, that's fair. So if you're running an AoE special, I believe it was like 4 cooldown. But if it really doesn't matter, it's like 3. You're getting at least still like 9 to 12 bonus damage consistently for running that. And I mean, it's going to help out. Especially like if you can deal with advantage and that sort of stuff, which can still happen a little bit. You're not really going to have hardy bearing, but it's like, you know. You really never know. From like knocking down AoEs, it's like, there you go. You just make sure that you're gonna just kill whatever you can. So I don't really know much more to say. It's just kind of, you know, reliably consistent, I guess. So I mean, why not? I really don't know what else to say. I kind of don't, because it's like, I'm not completely like flabbergasted and in awe. I'm kind of just like, you know what? All right, this is good, like very good. I'm very content with this banner, at least what it has for the Echo reps. I guess we'll wait to see in a few hours for what's up with Luthier, because I really don't know what's going to be up with him. Since he's a Lance Cav, I'm going to have the same sort of ability as Henry, albeit it's going to be on a Lance, so it might be a little easier to proc. I'm honestly not too sure. It really depends on who's going to really want that, but I'm not too sure. Otherwise, in terms of like his like actual skills, who knows? In terms of stats, we'll see. But overall, I mean, for me at least, this is this is me just going in. We'll see how things end up panning out, since I only actually have to pull for 2 units, luckily. So if I can get one, I can spark for the other, and then maybe if I have orbs, I can get myself my Valentia Palo. We'll see. All right, folks, this is me rambling once again, episode 34, totally confirmed. If you like this sort of stuff, make sure to leave a like. Let me know what you think about the video down in the comments below. Let me know if you're going to be pulling on this banner too. And Echoes, fun. I'm the #1 Echoes rep on YouTube. Everyone knows this. My name tells it. And yeah, backed by facts and logic. Totally. Otherwise, feel free to subscribe if you think that this channel is worth keeping an eye on, even though I only post like a month or so. I don't know. We're working on stuff, okay? I just work with me here, okay? And feel free to ring that notification bell, or else you're probably going to get Delthea Hyad and just destroyed. So yeah, I don't think you want to do that one. But yeah, next time we'll see what happens. All right. That's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will hopefully see you guys in the next video. Thanks everybody for watching. Bye-bye.